Greetings, YouTube. I'm trying out a new mic, so if the sound quality is good or bad, give me a shout out and tell me, would you? Thanks. Um, One of the things I'm seeing constantly, both in the real world and in comedy on YouTube and such, little shorts and on Instagram for reels and things, are people talking about the absurdities that parents are bringing to the discussion of pronouns. Yeah, parents and pronouns, unfortunately, is not a supplement to D&D. That will be quite entertaining. Now, I'm talking about why some parents seem to think that pronouns are new. They even seem to think that the pronoun they, when applied to an individual, is new, and it's not. They also are confused about the words like cis and trans, thinking they're new, somehow imposed from on high from some lofty educational something or other. But those were whipped up by the Romans, so they're not new. Um, but everyone possesses pronouns. Now, some folks like me, for example, my social media, I have a social uh, media card I carry with me everywhere I go. So if I need to, I just hand it to somebody. It says James. It says he, him on it, and then it's got my social links. I find it quite useful. And it sometimes people are like he, him. You know, like what? Why is that there? Or it's in my profile on my Instagram page, which I happen to really enjoy. I'm a big fan of Instagram. And again, it says he, him, and that confuses some people because they seem to think that if you're saying that, you're pushing an agenda. No. What I'm doing is letting somebody know how to refer to me. And it's no different than wearing a name tag. If I have a name tag and I wear a name tag, I wear ID at work, it says James on it. And it also says lead and first aid. So it tells people that I'm a lead operator and then I'm a first aider. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a little cross on it. It used to have that classic red cross on it. Maybe they can't use it anymore. I don't know, but I used to like that because it was bolder, easier to see. Then you can see it from a distance. Now it just says first aid. Um, but telling somebody your pronouns is nothing more than slapping on a name. It's giving somebody information to work with. Now, if you question whether you think that the pronouns they are requesting, it's on their ID or it's on their, you know, Instagram info or it's on a business card or what have you, why? What does it matter to you? Now, I happen to be a cisgender man. I was born and I was assigned, a masculine gender, and it's always seemed to fit for me, and I'm quite comfortable with it. Never questioned it, never felt out of place in my body, at least not for that particular reason. I do occasionally do suffer from bodily dysmorphia, but that's a different issue. Yeah. No, I'm just quite comfortable being a dude. And if somebody else has a pronouns that say he, him, that means that they're comfortable being a dude. And if their pronouns are she, her, that means that she's comfortable being a dudette, which I think is dude and dudette. I can't remember how old that one is. Dudette's been around for a while though. Um, and if it says they, them, then they're comfortable being called they, them. And that's not a difficult thing to do. It's kind of like when I'm talking about my wife. Now, I have a wife. I use the term wife frequently. But when I'm talking in a lot of general conversations, I just say partner. Why do I say partner? I mean, I could say wife. It's fewer letters, right? I say partner because I want to normalize the idea that it's okay to talk about your partner without revealing their gender. That a person who has a partner whose gender may not conform the way that someone who's looking at them thinks their partner should be. If they're looking at someone they perceive as masculine, and their brain says that that person's partner should be feminine, and that person just uses a gender neutral term like partner, then they can pretend their partners in their head, and it means that that person can avoid any complications in case their partner doesn't jibe quite the way that the general public thinks it should. They should be able to be comfortable. They don't have to reveal that their partner is masculine or feminine or gender neutral. They don't have to discuss that. They say partner, and you know they're married. That's all that matters. Marriage is marriage. Love is love. What does it matter? The gender of their partner. Shouldn't. So using the word partner normalizes that. That's why I use it. Even though for me, I fit the stereotype in that I look like a dude and my wife looks like a woman. So, you know, there's no controversy there. But for some folks, there is. So by using the term partner, I help normalize the term. I help de-escalate things in a sense. And I use the term he, him. I just introduce my pronouns, not because I feel that another person be forced to tell me. No one should be forced to tell you their gender, but just so that that person knows. I met a guy yesterday. His name tag said Alex. Oh, I commented. It was a little bit far away from me. I couldn't quite see it clearly. I said, "Is that Alex?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "It's my middle name because Alex is my middle name." I said, "I always kind of wished it was Alexander." He said, "Well, mine is Alexander." He said, "I like going by Alex." I said, "Oh, well, I'm a big fan of Alexander the Great. It's kind of like why I wish it was Alexander." Um, and named after my great grandfather, who was not a nice dude. But there's an example. His name is Alexander, his legal name, but he presents himself as Alex. Also perfectly legal. It's a diminutive of Alexander, but also it's legal to use any name you want to so long as you're not trying to avoid the law. So if he'd had Bob on that, that would have been perfectly acceptable. Maybe he doesn't want the public to know that his name is Alex. Maybe he just prefers to be called Bob. Maybe he's trying Bob out. What does it matter to you? And why do these things confuse so many parents? What does it matter? Now, when it comes to the matter of parents seemingly being terrified that their child is using a pronoun at school different from the pronoun that they have assigned that kid in their family on their birth certificate, if you don't know your actual child's pronoun, if your child has not revealed to you the pronouns that they feel in their heart are associated with them, you, parent, are the problem. That means they don't feel safe around you. They don't feel safe to reveal to you who they truly are. And if their friends know their true pronouns, or their teachers know their true pronouns, or a school counselor know their true pronouns, and the parent doesn't, the parent's the problem. The parent could potentially even be a risk to that child's health. But that child needs people to refer to them by their true pronouns to feel a sense of self, to feel comfortable in their own skin, to hear other people tell them, accept them for who they are. And that's very basic parenting, making sure your child feels safe to be who they are. And if your kid can't be who they are around you, well now, you're the problem there, parent. Maybe you should do something about that.